Hey everyone, and welcome to Hooked on Needles and Crafts. Today we're going to be continuing making the pie from our Crochet Cafe booklet. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in, and for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, we are going to do part 2 of making our dessert from the Crochet Cafe booklet. I am doing the blueberry pie. I'm leaving a link for this book in the description box below. I got it from Amazon. I'm not affiliated with them at all. I just was looking for a birthday present for my goddaughter, and I saw this booklet. It has a ton of super ultra cute characters or snacks that I do highly recommend getting. These instructions, as all my video instructions are just supplements to the actual kit or booklet. So if you'd like to make these snacks yourself, I highly recommend getting the booklet. I am going to be going over new stitches at least 3 times, step by step. And then I'm going to go through each instruction. If there's anything that's a little complicated, I'll try to walk you guys through it. If you need to speed up or slow down the video, there is a gear button in the corner. You can click on that. There's a playback option to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me talking, you could always lower the volume on your device and then click on the CC closed caption button. Alright, so we are going to continue where we left off. We have the pan with the little smiley face, and then we are going to end up putting the pie top on here, which I think is oh, look how cute this is. Anyway, we left off there. Let's see where the instructions are going to take us next. We have a bunch of stuff to do. We've got to make the lattice strips. I don't know if any of you guys ever made a pie in real life or helped make a pie or just even ate a pie. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of pieces to it. So that's going to be our lives for the next hour or so. We're going to make all these pieces. I'm going to do the extras offline. We're going to do the assembly, and then we're going to see the end result. So let's get to it. I'm just trying to clean this up here. We've got I've got to check the booklet to see where we're at since we left off. I know we fastened off the top, but now we have to do the next steps. Alright, so we will be sewing the filling top to the tin. Now, in the previous page, it says that you can make like a cardboard piece to trace the circumference of it so that it fits nicely inside, because you want a nice flat tin. The problem with that is if you intend on giving this to a child who's going to play with this, especially like a toddler, they might eat it, they might, you know, spill food on it, whatever the case may be, so you're going to want to wash it. Now, I would love to put the cardboard piece in there, but if you wash it, that cardboard is going to get all mushy and moldy and all this other jazz, maybe, I'm not sure. So I'm not going to do the cardboard bottom. But you can do that on your own. Make the cardboard bottom, put it in the bottom of the pan. Then we have to put our stuffing, and they want you to put the stuffing to where it's a little bulbous, so that the muffin top, you get a muffin top from this pie filler, like it kind of bulges. If you don't put a cardboard bottom, you might not achieve that. You might actually get bulge on both sides. I'm okay with that. This needs to be you know, machine wash friendly. I am going to get my 32 ounce. I mean, I'm sure over time the 32 ounce has gone some, but I bought a 32 ounce bag of stuffing, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to fill a little bit, because I want this to be as flat as possible. Like how they receive it should be as close to perfect as possible after they wash it. That they're on their own on that one. I can't guarantee that it'll bounce back. Because every time it's stiff, because we just made this, but anytime you wash any crochet, anything after you've made it, it loosens up, especially if you add fabric softener, and then that sucker's just flat. So I'm shaping this to the shape of the pan, and it is a little bit bulbous already. I'm not sure if I'm going to be adding more to this. I might, but I'm just tucking in the sides. I'm making sure that when I sew this together, there's a small possibility of sewing through the stuffing, because you can accidentally pull it out of the project and it's kind of an eyesore. Okay, so I'm going to thread up the long tail that we made for the crust, and we're going to be sewing the back loops together. So in the pie filling, we had done the last row using the front loops only. So with the remaining back loops, we're going to be using that to sew on to our pie tin. So you see that little faint line of back loops, we're going to be using those. So you can go on ahead and slip your needle through a back loop, because it's coming from the top of the crust. You want to make it travel down to the line of the back loops like this, right? And then we're going to use the back loops on the tin as well. So we're going to go from stitch to stitch. We're going to match up our stitches. So let's do that. And this is kind of big, so hopefully I'll be able to show this to you guys. So we're going to stick our needle through the back loops only. And I actually happen to be left-handed, so I am needling this with the left hand, but it's just as easy to do the right hand with the needle. So you'll probably be going this way around. But as long as you use the back loops, we'll pretty much be doing the same thing. So I don't know if you guys knew that from me. I just know that the majority of people are right-handed, so I do right-handed videos. It's funny, I did, I don't know if I've posted it yet by the time when you see this video, but I just filmed a bunch of shorts doing crocheting and knitting, alternating hands to teach both lefty and righty. And when I learned how to knit, you guys, I read it from a booklet. I couldn't tell you where. It's been so long. But I read it from a booklet, and I taught myself the way the booklet said, which is usually right-handed. So when I was doing my reels, filming my reels for the righty and lefty, I was really... I confused myself doing lefty knitting. I was like, how do I not know this, and why does it feel so awkward? And I realized because I trained myself to be a righty for knitting, because it's tough. I happen to be ambidextrous sometimes, so it's not as tough for me. So whenever I can learn something righty, I'll do it. Just because then you have to go somewhere and find special instructions for lefty, which is rare. Comment below, let me know if you know what I'm talking about, or my fellow lefties out there. But yeah, so I really tripped myself up. I'm gonna have to rewatch that film and see if that is actually how you knit lefty. But yeah, sometimes when I do righty crochet videos over and over again, and then I make a lefty video, upon request, there is a list, I end up feeling, it feels awkward. It's not as bad as knitting, but I do feel a little awkward after doing a bunch of right-handed videos. So, once upon a time, I used to be able to write with both left and right. But I had to practice. I used to, you know, for fun, because that's my version of fun, I guess. But I used to practice writing with my right. And Yeah, so I'm probably horrible at it now. Actually, when I did my nails, I was forcing myself to do right-handed art, like freestyle art, line work with my right on my nails, and that's tough because it's a small space. Even like sculpting nails. And it was tough in the beginning, but I forced myself to do it a whole year, and I became good at it, and then I stopped. So I don't know, I haven't really done it since, so I don't even know what it's gonna be like sculpting with my right hand. But you can't avoid it, because, you know, if you want a full set on both hands, you have to work with your less dominant at some point. Alright, so this is pretty straightforward. I hope this video isn't as long as the last one, but we did a lot. We constructed the pan, which was big. I thought this was going to be big. I just didn't expect it to be this big. And then, of course, the top, the filling, they had some real fancy crust work. So the more reason why when I do multiple pieces, the same piece, I'll just do one on camera and then the rest off. So this video, I think, is going to be shorter than the last one. Okay, wow, I feel like I went really far, and then I'm looking at it, I'm like, nope, I think I didn't even reach the halfway point. So if you're watching this video this far, congratulations and thank you very much. You know, I'm always thinking of what I should end up doing with this channel. You know, I guess if you're in this part of the video, I really commend you for your patience. So maybe we'll just talk secret talk. So if this is on my new channel, I have an original channel. If you're watching this on my original channel, I do have a new channel, and you'll probably tell which one is which because one has way more subscribers than the other. And I didn't really mention it because I thought that this was like something I didn't need to mention. I started a nail channel, which wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be like a vlog of everyday whatever, but you know, back in 2020, so circumstances as it was, it ended up being a nail channel. And that's all in good fun. But one day I was asked to help with some instructions, and I didn't know how to help them because I couldn't just drive all that way out. So I said, duh, you have a YouTube channel. Just do it on your YouTube channel and then just share the link. Genius. I don't need to worry about sending large files. I don't have to worry about, you know, using gas to get up there. And it just exploded. So that's how this whole thing came by. And it's all great. I love this. It got me to do things that I didn't have time for, or at least thought that I didn't have time for. And so now that I do, it's really fun. The only thing is I really didn't want to keep the same things on the same channel. It gets a little confusing, and plus I don't know if that's what people like. Like I've, you know, made some posts and comments on live to see if that, you know, are we enjoying the channel? What you'd like to see, X, Y, and Z. I don't really get the feedback. So I have to guess, and I ultimately want to do what's best for me if I can't get the responses, because I don't know. If I don't know, I don't know. So I decided let's just start a new channel and kind of guinea pig that first. So again, if you're watching on my new channel, thank you, welcome. I do have another channel that has both this content as well as nail content. But yeah, I'm gonna be working on separating the two so that you know, it's just easier for me, because you know, I have to comment on both categories, and it's just not crocheting, it's knitting. I do crafts, so it's getting all tons of klofuki. I don't know if that's a word. But anyway, so hopefully it all works out. All right, so I'm almost around. Thank you for listening. I already put stuffing in here, and I'm trying to figure out if this is the kind of bulge I want for my pie. I feel like I can add a little bit more. There's a dip in here that I don't like, a dip in here. I want to make sure that this thing looks like a nicely filled pie, because I don't know about you, but I like a bang for my buck. I want a nice filled pie. Especially if the filling is amazing. Comment below, let me know what your favorite pie is. Mine is pecan pie, and not just any pecan pie. I despise the ones that have the pecans on top and then the filling is just gooey. I like to have my filling mixed in with chunky chopped pecans, because you need that breakup. Like sometimes it's just too much. It's a very sweet pie to start with, so when you don't have that crunch and not enough crunch, because you know when you get that stuff in the store, they skimp out on those pecans. I know it's expensive, but dang. Like, where's the pecans? But yeah, so when I make them, I spare no expense. I get a bunch of pecans and chop them up into the filling, and then I do the decorative pecans all over it. So, all right, I don't know, did I just put too much now? I filled it out, and you know what, I think it's fine. It's got that right kind of bulge. I'm just trying to shape it up. Okay, so I'm just going to continue sewing this all the way around, and it's looking pretty good. Comment below, let me know how yours is doing at this point. Comment below, let me know if you did the blueberry or the cherry by just throwing up some colorful emojis, either like a red one or a blue one, obviously. So, but yeah, that was my little story time. I'm a little excited because I do have to filter through comments when I try to reply on my old channel. It's taking me months to reply, so I really apologize. But with this new one, I do respond a lot faster, so, because it's really tough. I think I did something a little complicated in my old channel, to where I really have to be there for everyone, and particularly people with channels. So I'm really I had invested so much personal time to YouTube, and it's not leaving me enough time to respond to everybody quickly. So with this channel, I said, listen, you know, just post what you need to post, and then, you know, reply to people. Don't worry about all the other hoopla, because it's a lot of work. It really is. So I have a full-time job, and then I have 2 channels, which is pretty much a full-time job in itself. So, and then on top of that, my husband has a channel, so I'm kind of the editor, the camera guy, you know, assistant, all that jazz for his channel too. So I'm really spread out thin. So for me to get out a lot of these videos in 1 week on top of nails, oh, I mean, I not to brag, but I do commend myself. It's a lot. So good thing I still like what I do, because then I would have been just running around with my head cut off. All right, so we've reached the other side. I'm just gonna find a moment here to tie a knot. So I'm not a sewer, so however you want to tie your knot, please do so now. But once we get here, I want to hide this excess piece. So what I'm going to do is take my needle and I'm going to fish it inside the pie, and I'm going to just try coming back out the other side randomly, but where the crust is. Okay, so I squished it, as you can see. I'm just gonna pull this all the way out. I'm just trying to hide the yarn. So I'm gonna cut this flush to the pie crust, and then with a little bit of squishing, you can make that end piece disappear. It disappeared so quick. All right, so we have our pie assembled. And then we're gonna create the next parts. Look how cute. I'm loving it. Look how cute. Dexter's right here. Hey buddy, look. Do you want this pie? All right. After I make these and before I pack them up to ship, I do wash them. So you always want to wash your stuff. You never know where the yarn was sitting at in the factory, at the stores. And then here we have a cat, so you definitely, you know, want to make sure you wash all the dander, if anything. You know, you just never know. All right, so now we're going to make the strips. And there's 3 different kinds. There's the large strip, medium strip, and small strip. And these are just going to require some chain stitching with some other size stripping. So let me just gather up some yarn here. And I'm going to show you how to cast on with a slip knot. So you want to take your ring, pinky, and thumb and hold one end. And then you're going to take your index and middle in the other. We're going to lie perpendicular to the yarn, your hook. We're going to go down, out, and around to create this loop around the hook. It'll enable you to slide the hook up and down the yarn. We're going to slide it down towards the thumb. So with your middle finger, we're just going to hold it down where it crosses so that we can let go of our left. So now I'm just going to take my feeder yarn here and wrap this around my finger. Alright, so from here I'm going to re-grip this end piece and we're going to drag the hook closer to your thumb. And where it crosses, you just want to pinch with your middle finger. So now you can no longer move your hook up and down. So from here we're going to do a yarn over, which is putting this yarn over the hook like that. And then we're going to pull this strand of yarn through the loop like that. So now I'm going to overhand the hook. I'm going to re-pinch the end. I don't want to lose that. We're going to tighten up this knot by pushing it towards the thumb, the left thumb. And you want to keep pushing it until that knot gets too tight to move. So from this point, we can pull just a little bit more excess by pinching this end and pulling it out a little bit more. You're going to feel a little give, and that's just making sure this knot is nice and snug. You don't have to pull too hard, but I'm going to grip the knot and slide it up towards the hook, and I'm going to leave some space here so that we can continue with our first stitches. And that's how you cast on with a slip knot. So now what we're going to do is make the number of chains that the instructions are requiring you to do. So a chain stitch is the most basic stitch in crocheting. So how you do it is, we're going to take this yarn here, we're going to yarn it over, so yarn over the hook, and then we're going to take this strand and pull it through this loop like that, and that's a chain stitch. Simple as that. So let's show you guys how to do it again. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull this strand through the loop like that. So now we have 2 chains, and you see their braids here. We got a loop on this side, a loop on the other, and then if you turn it on its side, you can see there's one more loop. I call it the hump, and it's in the back. Okay, so let's do this one more time. Yarn over, pull this through the loop, and now we have 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. We have our loops on this side and that side, and then if you turn it on its side, you can see the back loop or the back hump. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so we're just going to complete the rest of the chains that we have to do for this one. So alright, so once we've completed that, I want to show you the chains now. So like I said, basic stitch in crocheting, and when you get it done right, you get this beautifully made braid looking strand here. And when you're starting out, don't be discouraged if there's larger and smaller loops. That's definitely going to happen when you're starting out. And since we have to make 2 of these ones, actually, by the time you do the second one, you have a better idea of how to do it, and it's definitely going to look better than the one you're doing right now. So again, I'm showing you what it's made of. You have your loops here, 2 of them that make this braid, and then if you turn it on its side, you can see the back humps, and these are going to be very important because we have to move on to our first round or first row, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, so the first row, they want you to skip a chain. So in the second chain from the hook, we're doing a half double crochet stitch. We did those in the last video. I'm going to show you again how to do it in this video. But to count the stitches required, you count it from the hook. So not from this end, but from the hook end. So we have 1 and 2. So each one of these little braid segments is a stitch. So second chain from the hook, which is here, we're going to do a half double crochet stitch. Now I showed you how what comprises of the stitch because I'm going to show you where I'm going to put the hook. So here's the 2 loops that make the braid, and then when we turn it on its side, there's that back hump. So it's the back hump that I'm going to put my hook in. And I'm going to do this because I really like the look of this braid, and I really would hate to mess it up. So normally you would just go through one of the loops on the braid and then you ruin it, because then afterwards you only see a row here and that's it. If you stick the hook in the back of the loop, so skip a chain, in the second chain from the hook, stick your hook into the back hump. When you flip it over, you still have your braid here. See the 2 loops? They're not going to be touched. So that's why I like to do it. So to do the half double crochet stitch, you want to yarn over. We're going to count the second chain from the hook. We're going to turn it on its side and stick the hook into the back hump like so. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through the loop like this. So now we still have 3 loops on our hook. You're going to yarn over one more time and and we're going to pull through all 3 loops, and that's a half double crochet stitch. So let me show you how to do this again. You're going to yarn over into the next stitch. We're going to turn it on its side. We're going to put the hook in that back hump, and then we're going to yarn over again. You're going to pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. You're going to yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops. So now we have 2 half double crochet stitches, and your braid underneath is still intact. It's very pretty. All right, so let's do this again. We're going to yarn over into the next stitch, turn it on its side. You're going to see the back hump. Stick your hook into that back hump. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. All right, so now we have 3 half double crochet stitches. We're going to continue to do all these half double crochet stitches down the row, and then we'll pop back in and we're going to fasten off. All right, we're in the last chain here, and we have the tiniest excess piece. I'm really happy about it because I like to waste as much yarn as possible. Wait, that's not said right. I don't like to waste a lot of yarn, so this is a little bit left. I'm gonna try tucking this into the stitch, but because it's very short, it may not stay there. So I'm going to do my half double crochet stitch. To hide excess pieces, you just need to lay it across the hook, and then when you yarn over, it kind of covers it. So that's where you're trying to trap in the excess piece. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then when you wash it, sometimes it doesn't work. So but anyway, so I've hidden that. All right, and like I said, the reason why I like to do the back humps is because, first, when you look at the tops of the half double crochet stitches we've made, it already has the braid look. And we've seen this in so many videos that I've done the crocheting for. But because we did the back humps, when you spin it, so you see the braid stitches everywhere, you still also see it at the underside. So if this strip, which it will be, exposed on your project, it already has some beautiful edging that you won't have to worry about. Now, if we did it the regular way of sticking our hook into one of these loops, then we'll have 2 loops on one side, like you see here, and then on this side you'd only see 1. So it's a little uneven. So it's all about preference, but this is the way that I do it all the time. So to fasten off, like I said, I like to make sure that I have enough yarn to sew it. So I'm gonna go around this piece twice, and usually that's enough for you to use. If not, you can always get more and tie it on there. But yeah, so I'm gonna cut this, and I'm gonna show you how to fasten off. Okay, so you want to yarn over. We're gonna pull this through the loop and all the way out like that, and then we're gonna tighten this up, and you're gonna set this aside for now. I am gonna do the second one off camera, but we are gonna move on to the next strip. So this one's going to be a medium strip, and it's not going to be as long as the other one. So I'm going to show you this again because I always show new things at least 3 times. We're going to hold this end with the ring, pinky, and thumb. Hold it apart with the index and middle finger. Take your hook, lie it perpendicular to the yarn, and then we're going to go down, out, and around to make this loop. You can slide up and down the yarn. We're going to slide it down towards the thumb and use our middle finger to hold it in place temporarily while I let go of my left. I'm going to gather some feeder yarn, and then I'm going to re-pinch this end right here. We're going to move the hook closer to my thumb, and we're just going to pinch it where it crosses so that I can no longer move this hook up or down. And then I'm going to yarn over and pull through the loop, then overhand the hook, re-pinch the end, and we're going to push the knot towards the left thumb until you can't push it down anymore. Then when you get to this spot here, you can take this little excess piece and pull it out. You're going to feel a little give. You don't have to pull it out any more than that, but this will make your knot nice and tight. We're going to slide this up towards the hook, leave some room because we're going to do the next steps. All right, so let me just gather up some yarn here. And these you have to make 4 of. So I'm going to do 1 on camera, and I'm doing the other 3 off camera. Okay. So we're going to do our chains. All right, so again, starting in second chain from hook, we're going to do a half double crochet stitch. So yarn over, we're going to count second chain, 1, 2. I'm going to turn it on its side, and we're going to stick the hook into the back humps like that. All right, So then we're going to continue doing our half double crochet stitches, and we're going to do this all the way down to the end of the line. And you'll be able to tell if you have too much tension in your hands while you're making stitches, because whenever you do chains and then you have to do stitching on top of it, if it's hard to put your hook into the loop, then it means that you have to really lighten your tension. You don't want to be too stiff when you're holding your hook. That's why I like to hold my hook from underneath. I don't like to go overhand because your tension tends to be stronger that way. This way, it's like you're holding a pencil and you have to just flow through it. This in the long run I think is also good, because the less tension means you can sit for a few hours and crochet and not get any cramps, because I've definitely done that before trying to finish projects, and you know, sometimes you're just not even thinking and your tension's too strong, and then your hand gets so tired when you're done and sore. It's not fun. Yeah. Okay, last one. I'm going to try hiding this excess piece by laying it onto the hook. I'm going to yarn over, squishing that thing down, pull up a loop, and then continue with my half double crochet stitch. And so now again we're going to fasten off. I'm going to make sure that I have enough yarn to go around this thing twice. Alright, then we're going to cut this off. Dexter is just really trying to get into frame here. He's like lunging in my armchair and I'm trying not to knock him over. Alright, to fasten off, we're going to yarn over. You're going to pull this through the loop. And we're going to pull it all the way out. And then we're going to tighten this up. And once again, I'm going to show you guys what it is when you stick your hook into the back hump instead of the loops. So we have our nice braided top stitches here, and once we flip it upside down, we still have the same braided stitches at the bottom. Alright, so that was the medium strip. I'm going to set this aside. I am going to be doing the rest off camera, and then we just have the small strip left to do. Okay, so now I'm going to show you one more time how to cast on with a slip knot. So we're going to take our ring, pinky, and thumb and hold one end. We're going to take the index and middle and hold it apart. I'm going to take my hook, we're going to lie it perpendicular to the yarn and go down, out, and around so we can slide this hook up and down. You want to slide it towards the thumb. Take your middle finger and hold it where it crosses. So we can let go of our left, gather up some feeder yarn, and then we're going to re-pinch the end, and you're going to pull the hook closer to your thumb and pinch it where it crosses so that you can no longer move the hook up or down. Then we're going to yarn over. You're going to pull this through the loop. Then I'm going to overhand my hook, re-pinch the end, and we're going to push this knot towards the thumb until you can't push it any longer. And then just to get a little bit more out of this knot and make it nice and tight, I'm going to pull this excess piece just a little bit. I'm not going to force it. Then I'm going to take the knot and slide it up towards the hook, and then we can start with our chain stitches. So for this last strip, it's going to be the smallest. So these aren't as many chains as the other ones were. Okay, so then from here we are going to start from the second chain of the hook, and we're going to do our half double crochet stitch. So yarn over, we're going to stick our hook into the back hump here like that, and then we're going to go all the way down the row doing the half double crochet stitch into the back hump. All right, for the last one, stick your hook into that back hump. I'm going to lie this excess piece across the hook, and when we yarn over, it's just going to squish that down. We're going to continue our half double crochet stitch, and then we're going to cut off a tail to fasten off. Okay. And to fasten off, we're going to yarn over, pull through the loop and all the way out, and then we're going to tighten up the loop here. And I'm going to show you once again that on the top stitches we have the braids. We flip it to the bottom and we still have the braids on the other side. Alright, so we have our three strips here, the large, medium, and small. I'm going to come back in and we're going to have all our strips made, And we're gonna assemble our pie. I cannot wait. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my pie. Clink. And then we have our strips here. Let's separate them by size. We have 4 of the small. It's gonna get real crowded up in this desk here. All right, 4 of the small. Then we have 4 of the medium. And then we have 2 of the large. It says to only sew the ends, so I feel like all that tail that I got was a waste. But we're not going to think about that because we have a much bigger task at hand now. So we're going to take our large strip. I'm going to thread my needle. And I think being long isn't such a bad thing because I'm going to fish this underneath the pie to get to the other side. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. But anyway, so it says to make a cross with both large strips. And it's crazy because this isn't reaching. We're just going to have to stretch it. So we're going to take a stitch on the edge here. And I'm going to use that to anchor our strip. Okay, then I'm going to put this, I'm going to use 2 stitches. So go into this one, the next one over. All right, and once we have that secure, right, we have to sew the other side. Now, what I'm going to do to get that is I'm going to stick my needle into one end right here. And we're going to try to fish this. There's going to be a ton of lines going underneath here that we're not going to even notice. But you want to make sure you come up about the middle of the pie. So just squish this down and try to get into the other side of the pie. Right, and pull the tail and then squish this down to make it nice and not bunching. You don't want to bunch with your tail. But now we can sew the other end. So I'm just going to stretch this. I'm going to grab one of the top stitches here, pull it through. Okay. I'm going to go around one of the stitches here. Then I'm going to go through another set of stitches on this strip. And we're going to sew this around the stitch next to this one. Okay, so this is meant to be up like this. So from here, I'm just going to find a moment to tie my knot, and then I'm going to hide this tail piece into the project. Okay, and then you can just hide it by slipping back into your pie. I'm going to try to come out the other end here like we did before. This is going to be a great way to hide your tails. Take your scissor, cut it flush to your pie piece. And then you can make that tail disappear by squishing it even more. All right, so we got one strip in. I'm going to take the other large and we're going to, oh, that's not it. What happened to my, did I drop it? No, that must be the large. Oh, they're so close in size, I can't tell. Alright, then I'm going to grab my other large strip. I'm going to thread up the needle. It's taking a minute. Alright, I'm going to slip this underneath actually. I guess it doesn't matter, you can place it over, fine. But we're going to make a cross. Alright, so it doesn't have to be perfect. This is a handmade pie. But I am going to do what we did before and just tie it around some stitches. Comment below, did I ask if any of you have made pie before? Alright, coming around here, we're going to go in the middle and I'm going to go into the filling. And we're going to go through the other side. Let's see, we got to try to make this even. So, come up at the other side. Okay. Okay, find your moment. We're going to tie a knot. And then we're going to hide this inside the project. Cut the tail flush and squeeze this out. All right. So now we're going to move on to the medium strips, and we're placing them on the sides of each of the long strips. So we have, we're going to be doing one on each side, I guess. And you want to divide it to where, because we're doing one more, we're going to put a small one. So you want to leave a good enough gap. But what's going to happen is we might have to remove the needle for these next steps because you want to make the lattice work. Let me see. Yeah, as you know, I have not, or not have known, I have not done a pie in real life like this. I've made pies in the past and I just cut holes in them. Those are the kind of pies I do. So I'm trying to figure this out mentally as well. So we're just gonna slip this around a stitch. Okay. Alright, so we have this side in. I'm gonna go again in the middle here. We're gonna go through the filling and out on the other side. And of course we want to come out around where we are going to sew the other end. Okay. Now we are going to make this a lattice, so this one, since it's right next to the large, we're going to go underneath this like that. You want to always go under, over, something like that. And then let me see here. Okay, again, we're going to hide this. All right, then we're going to cut this flush to your pie tin, squish it to make that end disappear. And we're going to do the other end on this side. We're getting there. Sorry, I got a little out of frame. Oh, and you know what? I didn't even make this even, but whatever. Like, here's the face. I should have had like a stripe go down the middle. It is what it is. I didn't think that one through, but I guess not all pies are perfect. Alright, so I'm going to come up through the other side here. Okay, we're going to slip this under the large. Okay, then we're going to tie our knot. And then hide the tail into the filling. I don't know where this needle is. Here it is. All right. Then we're going to take the other two mediums and we have to lie it in this direction now. So let's do that. Oh, look, I bent my needle. It's okay. I have a lot of these needles. Dexter, you fell off my chair. All right. Are you all right, buddy? I just gave him lunch. He wants me to watch him eat. Like, what? What is this? All right. This is really the biggest project I've done so far. This is just huge. All right. So from here, like in a lattice, we have, like I said, under and over. So we're going to slip this under here, over there, under here. And I'm going to fish my needle into the filling. I'm going to come back up on this side. Okay. And we're going to stretch this. Okay, then I'm going to find my moment to make my knot. And then we're going to hide this. This flush. Squish it to disappear. And we're going to do this other side here. So far, so cute. This is looking too cute. I just can't. Right? Then we're going to stick this other side down. This is a lot. Imagine if I did the red one as well. Like I said, a 2-year-old doesn't need so many pies. I am having difficulty finding the other side of this thing. Oh, I don't know why I did that. I have to come up at a certain spot. Oosh. Maybe I can get it back. Okay. Kind of got it back. I need to come up about here. I think this needle is done for. Let's see. It's kind of really bent. I just need you to come up on this side. Here we are. Okay, good. Woo! That one took a bit. The small one should be easier because it's only going through a shorter distance. But we got that. Right, we're gonna go under, over, under, sew this in place here. And tie our knot. Okay. Buddy, go on. Go on, eat your food. Go on. Boy, he just wants to hang around me randomly, but it's probably because he wants me to watch him eat. I'm busy right now, trying to make the bacon. Or a pie. Alright. Hiding that. Cut this flush. Squish this. Alright. Now we're gonna work on the small ones. So this is just gonna get harder. Let it be known. Okay, threading this up. Oh, this one I should have flipped the other way. This one as well. Oh well. Alright. So we're going to sew this last bit. Like I said, it's going to take the smaller distance because it is a smaller strip. So hopefully it won't be as difficult as the other strips have been. But it's getting a little packed now, so it's really hard to kind of see where you're putting this stuff. Okay, and then we're just going to go into the filling here and hopefully come out through the other side. Yeah, it's still a little difficult. I definitely bent that needle. Alright, let's see. Okay. Still difficult, no matter what the distance. Okay. Alright, so this one goes under, over, under. Oh my gosh, this is just looking too cute. This needle has seen better days. Okay, then I'm just going to find my spot to tie a knot. And then I'm going to hide this to the project. Cut this flush. Squeeze the sides. Where are we? Alright, so I did that. We have to put one here. Alright, for this, we're going to go under, over, under. Okay. Ouch, that totally hurt. Cut this flush. All right. Two more, and then the pain is over. But I think it worked out. It kind of made it kind of crisscross at the face, so I don't think it's too bad. The needle, on the other hand, is getting a little weary, so I'm hoping that it lasts till the end. So I just need this to last 2 more strips. But it looks like we are nearing the end, so I'm a little excited. This one is gonna go over, under, over, and under. Well, it's actually just gonna meet where this guy is. So I'm gonna hide this somewhere. Getting a little crazy. All right. Okay, and then we have to just do one more, you guys. Woo! It's great hitting that finish line, doesn't it? All right. You know, I would like to take breaks, but I'm really just trying to get this done because we have to do a snack after this, and that, once you see that, you guys, you're gonna be like, whoa, it's a lot. It's a lot, it's a lot, it's a lot. it's fun, but when you have to, when you're kind of racing against time, it's just not so much fun anymore. So luckily you guys are taking your time with this, hopefully. My needle is tired. It's like, stop. No more. All right, let's just do this. This one's going over, under, over. All right. Okay, last knot and we're done, you guys. Oh my goodness. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, we're gonna stick this in here. Come up through the other side randomly somewhere. This needle's like, I'm done. I'm on strike. Leave me alone. Alright. Cut this flush. Okay, you guys. Oh my gosh, we are done. Look at this lattice work. Like, what? Comment below, let me know how you did. Let me know if that was the most enjoyable thing you've ever done in your life. It was good until it wasn't, because my spacing is a little off. And like I said, I didn't plan it to where it lined up with the face, but I think it works out. Either way, I don't think it matters. No one's going to be paying attention that closely. Or will they? Who knows? But this is it, you guys. Oh my gosh, look, it looks like a pie. And I didn't put the cardboard bottom, but it's not that bad. You know? It's not terrible. It'd probably be more important to put cardboard along the sides. So it didn't mention that. I don't think. But anyway, whew. That's all I have to say about that one. This took a bit out of me. Alright, so comment below, let me know what you think. Do you like my little blueberry pie here? Next, we are going to do our snack video, and it's going to be popcorn. So I legit need to get this done today because I really want to try shipping it out tomorrow, because I don't think they'll ship on a weekend. I don't know how the thing works anymore, but yeah. So again, if you enjoyed this booklet, any of the series I've done from this booklet, go ahead and check the description box. I have the Amazon link. I am not affiliated with them. I just found this book and it is a dream. so many more projects in here that I'm even showing. So if you get it and you need help, comment below which one you're doing. I'll throw that onto my list. Otherwise, thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Hooked on Needles and Crafts. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.